so many details on the bike, and yeah, we couldn't prove it while we had to decide. So you need really strong people. Like I'm really happy for the engineers we have at home, Kurt Trieb, our technical director there, and then here in the garage, Mike and then Sebastian. And we are sure now we have a great base, and with the normal tools how to change geometry for a bike, I'm sure we can fulfill all the requests for today. And that's very important now, not to start with Johan the same road like Paul and Bradley had to go with too many parts and too many technical informations in their head. I think it's very important to give Johan now the chance to ride the bike and command the bike without putting the bike in pieces immediately. Because we want to get out of that corner and give a little bit more stability for the technical development also.
Just before I let you go, can you give us a rundown on what your plans are from here for the next test? What kind of your schedule is? I know where you're going to test, but what your aims are.
Yeah, I mean, it's now there is still a full truck of different parts, but like I just mentioned, we want to get more quiet now and not make crazy steps. So we hope to find a really good base with Johan quickly. But then for any question he has, I hope we have an option in the truck. So, but if you develop so quick and crazy like we did in the last weeks, and we had a huge target in the whole 2 years. We always said by Valencia 2018 we need to go to the second part of the project and be here with new bikes and the latest level what we have. And if you work 2 years day and night and you bring everything on track for that date, you don't have 100 good ideas for the next morning. So now it's time to bring everything on the track what we produced in the last weeks. And now we need riding time and adapt Johan to the bike and the crew and the team. But not to forget also Paul, if he's now so fit and the bike is working good on that level. Maybe with very small things now we can even improve a little bit more. It's a different situation. If I look back now 2 years ago, we started the project and we had to start without Paul because he was not allowed by his Yamaha contract to start with us. And we had a Bradley completely injured with his leg. And now looking now into this garage, you have two super fit, two super strong riders sitting there. By the way, not to forget, we have now 2 podium guys in the KTM garage. Not dreaming of, like on paper already. I'm super happy and super proud. And also 2 more guys in the Tech 3 garage. So that's for me like a power force like we never had it. And we will collect a lot of input from all these guys. And I'm sure the project gets more dynamic now. And soon the arrival of Dani. Also Mika is almost ready to hit the bike again. I think we are on a good way to make stronger steps and better steps in the future. And if you do now something with one of the 4 riders or even one of the 6 riders, you are not distracting maybe the fastest one in the garage all the time. So we really try to keep the top guys more quiet and not to fill them with too many technical material.
Pete, thank you very much for your time and your thoughts.
Thank you guys, and have a good day. And I hope we're gonna still see some nice laps today. Exciting for everybody, and still exciting for me to be like the rookie in this pit lane of MotoGP. Yeah, to be here and representing such a huge project. So also a moment to thank at home KTM factory and all our board members, because I promised them 2 years ago I don't want to lead them into a crazy adventure. I said we have a plan how to do it, and at the moment it's already like a thing where we can look back a little bit what we have done, and I think you all agree we didn't do stupid and crazy things. We are on a good way, and so it's a nice moment for me in the whole project. Thank you guys. Good luck from here. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks to Pit Byros for talking there to Simon Crafar. Of course, he does now have two riders, as he rightly mentioned, that have podiums. They've had a taste of that podium success. They've not yet had race wins, Paul Espargaro or Johann Zarco, but they'll be looking for that to change soon. Zarco has completed his first run. He's come into pit lane at 33.3, his fastest time. In comparison to yesterday, it's about half a second off where he was. Andrea Iannone, who he was just showing the circuit with a moment ago, is also out there. The Yamaha test rider, Jonas Folger, has gone out as well. And now it's Miller time also. Jack Miller, the Australian, technical problems at the end of yesterday, but he's back out on circuit. It will be interesting to know, actually, what the whole programme is with Jonas Folger. Now they've got this European test team, Matt. I mean, I've got no idea what he's got underneath that bike at the moment, but with them obviously trying different things, they'll be throwing all sorts of Jonas Folger. And they've got effectively a whole new team. I mean, it's called the European test team. There'll be some new faces in that garage as well. Yeah,
Valentino Rossi was again impressed with Jonas Folger. We know that he pushed for the German to be the figurehead of that new Yamaha European-based test team. And he said Folger is a guy that can push the bike to its limit, and more importantly, he's been impressed with the feedback that the German's been able to offer as well. So he will be a useful ally for Maverick Vinales and Valentino Rossi next year, as Andrea Iannone drops down into this tricky downhill left-hander, turn 14, the final corner. Only did 15 laps yesterday. Initial little check out on the Aprilia RSGP. I'm sure he's going to be putting in a bit of a longer stint today. Andrea Iannone, Happy Cyrene just looking on, still in his civvies. He's not expressing any great interest to get out there at the moment. Happy Cyrene was 24th yesterday, almost 3 seconds off the best pace, although of course it's his first taste of the KTM RC16 yesterday. Was that he showed a lot of faith in KTM by joining their Moto2 project. That KTM Moto2 chassis was completely brand new when they came into Moto2 in 2017. They took on Kalex, who were the dominant force in terms of chassis manufacturers in the Moto2 World Championship. And he said, it took a lot of trust and faith in me to be convinced to go and join them in Moto2. And he said, now, thankfully, after a good couple of years with Red Bull KTM in the Intermediate World Championship, they're now putting the trust back in me and moving me up into the MotoGP World Championship next year.
Taki Nakagami's got straight up to speed. That's a 32.7 from him. It's only a couple of tenths shy of what he managed yesterday. Just coming up for almost 1 o'clock local time, so we'll be on air again with you for the next hour. Then we'll take a short break and be back for the final 2 hours as well, as Marc Marquez is out there then in one of his 2019 machines. And already straight down to business is Marquez.
Yeah, the track time was heavily curtailed yesterday by the weather, but when the track was dry and warm enough for the rider to go out there, Marc Marquez had to limit his time on the circuit because of that weak left shoulder. Of course, he doesn't want to do it any more damage. Another crucial 2-day test coming up for him next week in Jerez as well. Here's one of the men we briefly saw, Franco Morbidelli there. One of the most eye-catching performances of day one of 2019 pre-season testing yesterday, with Morbidelli in 6th place. As we mentioned earlier, it seemed like he was out on a kind of hybrid bike, a Johann Zarco 2017 spec chassis with a 2018 Valentino Rossi engine. He said his riding style, which was always naturally smooth, he had to get a little bit more aggressive when he was on that 100 to muscle that RC213V around. He said, straight away I could feel I'm going to have to go back to my more natural riding style. This Yamaha demands a lot more finesse than the Honda. And he said this was not intentional either. He got behind Valentino Rossi for a couple of laps, and then Valentino Rossi got behind him as well. And he said when he was behind Rossi and on board the Yamaha, he said the bike was everything.